Hey, you favored ones, welcome back to another collective reading. I'm Kymmy, and this is my channel, Faevoured Readings. And yeah, thank you for anyone who's returning and anyone who's clicking on for the first time. I appreciate you coming in and sharing your energy with us. I wanted to let you know that I do multiple types of divination here, and one of them is rhapsodomancy, which is poem divination. You're welcome to check out any of those videos, and anyone who's going through their self-help journey, I do always leave therapy link videos down below from my own personal journey and videos I watched during my therapy. So a lot of you may be going through therapy or your own self-healing journey. And I heard an airplane, so a lot of you could be traveling or just getting out into the environment and society again, integrating. Now that's not for everyone. Some of you, it may be your self-help journey could be a personal one in hermit mode. You could be traveling alone as a way to heal yourself as well. So that was just a quick message that came through. I originally had planned today an exercise that I have been practicing for a while, and I have tried it out with one of my friends who lives long distance away, and I wanted to try now that I've kind of confirmed that it's good for long distances, and which I figured it would, considering Reiki works long distances and so does reading tarot. So I wanted to do a welcoming Utopia exercise where I just want everyone who clicks on this video, if you wanted to for a moment with us, I just want to focus on the energy of what your utopia would be and what would it be like if you were welcoming it into your life and what that would feel like. And I just wanted to sit there for a moment in that energy and call in any of your ancestors or any of your support system that you would call upon, and just think about them and what they would be like and how happy everyone would be. Because I just feel like at this moment it's kind of out of touch and feels kind of out of reach. A lot of people could be feeling a little distrusting of the process and that it's going to exist some days, and that's okay. And I wanted to see if this could help give a little boost, especially if it goes viral, which I'm very hoping for. With that as my intention, is so that way everyone can have a little piece of safe haven for themselves and a little piece, like, period. Did you hear that horn from the train? So yeah, 333 was on the clock, and then the train. So like, triple confirmation is people are waiting, and you guys are out there being the little engine that could, and you're like, I think I can, 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 Utopia. So I just wanted to take this moment and sit in it and think of what would the utopia be. Would it be like, if it would be steampunk energy and trains were used more for, or you want to go traveling, or just anything like that you wanted to. That would be utopia, having more inclusiveness to magic society and like just society as a whole, and turning our lives from a society to a humanity. Just what would it be like welcoming utopia into your life? For any of you that may want to pause the video, and 5-5 on the clock, big changes. For this big change, to embrace this big change, you may pause the video, meditate a little bit longer. From here, I wanted to continue on to the rest of the messages. Remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for energy exchange, as well as helping boost my channel is appreciated, and I'm extremely grateful. So yeah, the other message that I had coming to mind was that the Divine's dice are loaded. If you think that the Divine's not gonna win, or that in the end game, the final countdown to the last turn of existence of this perpetuated turning loop, I'm getting like Miguel and what's his other name, the two from Road to El Dorado. That area could be significant to you, or you may do past life regressions. That could be something that you do naturally through your dreams, or you could have someone that do a meditation through online YouTube instructions, or of course you could have a QHHT practitioner that you work with. I'll link my video down below from one of my sessions that I did with Lizzie. She has her own channel. I'll put that down below if you're interested in it. That's what kind of vibes it gave me. But the originally is because the dice are loaded in your favor. When you think that you're going to have a downfall, or people be preying on your downfall, and the Divine's dice, when it comes to you, are loaded. It is in your favor. If you're choosing yourself, then say less, fam, because that's all they ever wanted you to do in the first place, was to pick yourself, so they can take those loaded dice of blessings and roll them your way. You're gonna get all the blessings. They're like, what do you want? What do you want? Roll it. And it's like, you call it. You're calling the roll. And that's what they want you to do. They want you to call your roll. And the roll's already, and the dice are already loaded. So the universe wants you to be like, you get to tell it what you want. It's like, here's the dice for your blessings and all of these next thing to come true. And they're like, call your shots. You're calling the shots, and the dice are loaded, and we're welcoming Utopia and nothing less. We have so much more in our roster than we are even fathoming at this point. And yeah, the universe wants you to call the shots. You're calling the shots. You're the leader. Whether you're doing it as a team or an individual, and remember, for those who are working as a team, doesn't make you any less of an individual. For those who are called to call on their energy in hermit mode, I feel like what you're doing, you could be a human generator type, and a lot of people may not understand this, but every now and then, what does a generator have to do? A generator has to go and pull energy. So you get told to isolate and go in hermit mode for a bit, so that you could almost do like when Goku like pulls in all that energy from the universe and all the things that we're willing to lend him his energy for the spirit bomb. And especially those who are human generators and working in spiritual warfare and are spiritual teachers, that's a triple threat of energy in the spiritual realm and the physical realm. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of energy. So make sure you're giving yourself grace. But yeah, you get called to go to isolate by yourself and know that the people who are being teamed in to lead while you are in isolation will take care of the masses. You have proof of that this time. You've had witnessed people who are kind and gentle, who are willing to teach this stuff for you while you take the hiatus, to pull in that energy from all your guides and source and let the love be poured into you, so that you could almost be like defibrillate the earth and be like clear, and you clear out negative energy, you know, almost like a shock wave. And the longer you build up, you know, like when you're in a video, because we like it is like a video game, where you like a video game and you hold on to it and you hold down like the C button when you're playing Super Smash Bros, and then you release it and it goes extra hard. That's what they're calling you to do. So you're like, why? I thought it was time for friends. I thought it was time for me to integrate. And they're like, you did a great job for like a year and a half. You put your blood, sweat, tears into leveling up and loving people around you and giving all you have to give to this world. And they want you to pull back a little bit so that you could spirit bomb, call in all that love energy pull so that you can literally go boom. I'm seeing like, yeah, it's like when you, I'm seeing power up. They want you to just, what you're waiting for is the power up for your it's like when a move needs to recharge, except instead of a destructive weapon, it's a shockwave of love. It's a shockwave of determination. It's a shockwave of no. You thought you were getting the best of the underdogs. You thought you were getting the best of my friends and my society and my world. No, we're not doing that here. So you could be a human generator type. You don't have to be. You could just be called to back into your own energy. And for those who are taking over the position of leadership and guiding the other ones, well, we take back seat for a moment so that we can do our, you know, it's like having the tank has to like, has their stats, and they have to wait for the next time that they can use their big tank move, and during that time the healers are going to move in and they're going to help heal, and the teachers are going to move in and they're going to help it. So the tanks are like still tanky, and but even the tanks need to wait for their gas to fill back up. Some of you could be that could be legit with the tanks. You could be working with tanks and the fighting fires, fighting in the front lines and stuff like that. If you are, and this is where you've come for a safe haven, then thank you for choosing here to take your mind off of it for a while. And I'm sending that Utopia energy towards you, because you know the dice are loaded and it will happen. It will happen. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. No. So I have the 3 decks here. I was going to use them, but it feels like they really want me to speak from my heart. And, but I do want to pull crystal. So we have the Amazonite, and it's for soothing emotional traumas and alleviating worry and fear. and it balances both masculine and feminine energies, both give and take. You know, sometimes it's your turn to give, sometimes it's your turn to take, and some of you are being told it's time to take that energy from the universe for a while because you've been giving. And, you know, if you've given all the time, something's gotta give. You know, really, you know, something's gotta give. You gotta take some time. And it's the fluid energy of water. The stone is supposed to hold the fluid energy of water. So you're being fluid like water, and it's supposed to remind you that life's currents will always take you where you need and are meant to go. And that is for you to trust in the greater universe and let life flow. So I'm gonna say that that's what we're supposed to work in on here. That was beautiful. I'm gonna put that there. Beautiful introduction. And I picked out 3 of my decks to choose from to shuffle through. And but for the crystals I put on them, I put Hemonite for protection, Dalmatian Jasper for unity, and Carnelian for passion. So that could be a part of what Utopia is bringing you. At this moment, I'm going to shuffle through. Can we get messages on welcoming Utopia? What are we welcoming? This Utopia, what are we welcoming? Why is it worth the wait? Utopia says you're worth the wait. Utopia says you're worth waiting for you to get there. Utopia thinks you're worth the wait on your journey getting to it. Yeah, the Hangman, seeing it from other perspectives. With the Amazonite, seeing both sides of a problem and different views and perspectives. I'm going to be having the Babylonian Eye. Yes, the Babylonian Eye. When I was doing the exercise with my friend, they did the exercise with me thinking about Utopia, and both of our left eyes started to itch. So if any of your left eye started to itch when we did that exercise, or even now, let me know below. I just wanted to see if that goes across the board, but I didn't want to let you know beforehand because I didn't want to sway any judgment. But yeah, the Babylonian Eye, all the way back to Babylonian times, it was that's where the saying "an eye for an eye" comes from. And I think we're seeing eye to eye. We're really in the moment. What we want is justice. Is what we truly want, is seeing eye to eye. We want the punishment to fit the crime, and that's where it came from, is that an eye for an eye. It was the punishment that's the crime. And I feel like in Utopia, we are finally getting our justice and moving away from the need for crime, and creating a whole nother paradigm. That's the point of it. A lot of you may be feeling doubt right now that we've had time to think about it, and begrudging the fact that we are not there yet in this Utopia, but we are welcoming it, right? We are welcoming it. We can't welcome it if it's already here, right? So I'm like, we're welcoming it. We're creating that new paradigm. We have the Hangman, the Hanged Muse. You are Finding a new perspective, seeing eye to eye with the universe, finding that utopia through portals. You're creating a portal to your utopia daily. And utopia thinks you're worth the wait. It hangs suspended, waiting for you to trapeze into being more than just appeased. It wants you to trapeze into being more than just appeased with your life. A lot of you could work with the with diamonds, liquid crystals, or other hallucinogens. Opening your third eye with herbs and spices like milk thistle, as well as turmeric, and chlorophyll as well. I see, whether that's pills form or a liquid. I just see that as well, with all of the green mintiness along the bottom. A lot of you are opening up your chi. Yeah, like with what I was saying with the spirit bomb, a lot of you are learning how to let go and really allow to have your chi be replenished. A lot of you could be racing yourself into exhaustion. And it's like, once you have something down pat, you're like racing to the next thing to have it accomplished. Like, watch what I can do. Not that that's anything wrong with that, and not that you need to slow down, but remember to acknowledge that you're finessing, that you're styling, and like you're like totally slam dinking all over all of these obstacles and all of these mountains that you wanted to climb. You're not only moving mountains, you're walking through them like they don't even exist. Some of you could be into rock climbing or suspension with BDSM, doing a lot of photo shoots, boudoir, or just like hula hooping. I just see it just reminds me of like big stage, like you're walking around like your main character energy now. I'm getting a lot of royal energy with the tights there. Yeah, you could be tight with people who are well known, or you are well known, and people want to be tight with you. They want to be royal and loyal with you. Yeah, with the heels here, I feel like some of you are getting new kicks. They're really sticking out. A lot of your shoes stick out. A lot of you could have custom shoes, or they just really be fresh kicks and like swag. I also see a lot of tattoos, or you wear arm bracelets. And I'm noticing that they have glasses here, so you could wear contacts or have glasses. Oh, the nylons have little kitties on them. So a lot of you could have a cat aesthetic, or just have kitties. Or your name could be Kat, Catherine, Katrina. Or you're like you're the it person right now. You're like, your glow up is like Katniss Everdeen when she's like a girl like on fire. You don't have to be female. It's just that you're glow up, and collecting your chi is really opening your third eye even more, and you're getting more messages. And some of you could be on swings, going to the park, playing with your like indulging your inner child, or actually, you know, taking your child to the park, and you're indulging and getting involved. You're the type of person who gets involved and likes to be hands-on. If you're a manager, if you're a leader, you like to be hands-on. You don't want them to be left feeling alone, and you like them to have fun too, and not have to be everything be so serious and stressful. And that's another thing that's coming out. You're welcoming Utopia, and you're leading people there. You're showing people the way. Number 12 and number 3 could be important to you, especially with the 333 on the clock at this beginning of the reading. And the 12 from the Hangman, it could be 12 when you're watching this. Or the 12th coming up could be important for you. 12th, 13th. I feel like midnight around those times are anywhere between like the 12th to the 15th. I don't and from the 9th to the 15th, I think that week's just important. And if you're not watching this in September, then just a week from 12 days from watching this, so like 2 weeks, because it's like the 7th today, and I'm saying from the 9th, so 2 days from when you're watching this for a week. So you might as well add these days too. It doesn't matter. Time doesn't exist. For the next 2 weeks, I feel like something really important is coming through that will help you see a new perspective. And you could be getting new glasses, and some of you could be going through the mountains, in the mountains. Some of you could be working with the Babylonian, with like justice system and working towards getting your kid. That's one message coming through. Some of you have inherited spiritual wealth, or are creating spiritual wealth for your descendants, because I'm feeling like this person in the image is descending almost, but like gracefully, like a backflip, like not, you know, sticking the landing. You're sticking the landing on this new paradigm, and you're doing it with a great wisdom and seeing things ahead of time. But yeah, I feel like you're leaving like gifts and treasures and great wisdom onto your descendants, whether or not you actually are going to have kids. It's just descendant of those who are younger than you, through a legacy of books or creations. If you're worried about not leaving anything behind of worth and share to this world, maybe because you can't or don't want to have children, or maybe you just thought you wouldn't leave anything behind for your child, I'm seeing that's what something is going to come to your forefront with welcoming Utopia, is knowing that the dice are loaded. The dice are loaded. The dice are loaded. So you're doing backflips on your obstacles, and just people think you're about to fall, and then all of a sudden you're just chilling there hanging out. Yes, you're gonna eat good. You're gonna have lots of time to frolic, have fun, and race. A lot of you might like racing games, or like Mario Kart or whatever. Yeah, there's a lot of racing games coming through. A lot of you might just like racing, like track and field. or lane swimming. A lot of you could be in swimming, or a lot of you could be like a fastball, like baseball or softball. Because I'm getting fastball, slow ball, as well as like a spike. So like volleyball or a volleyball court could be important to the messages coming through for you and your utopia that you are building. One more card, please. Absolutely. Yes, and it's coming in fast. It's coming in swiftly. This utopia is coming in swiftly. I told you, the dices are loaded, and the more we do that exercise and focus on utopia, especially if we do it all at the same time. I'm hoping to do this exercise at the beginning of most of my videos now to welcome utopia, because if utopia shows up, I ain't gonna be the one who's gonna be caught slipping and not welcoming it. As soon as it's here, it's already here. It's already here. So 8 of inspirations, which is 8 of wands, which is like, whew, that's like payload after payload after payload after payload being dropped on the map for you. Some of you could be into those survival shooter games. Fortnite. I'm hearing Rust, even though that's not the type. PUBG is another one. I'm a beast. I'm hearing Black Eyed Peas. No wonder why I keep saying and I'm like, why though? But yeah, Black Eyed Peas. Some of you could be inside of a group of musicians, and you're like quickly becoming the like front stage. You're gonna be the main event. You're gonna be the headliner. You're gonna be the last one to play for the night. And it's happening fast. I see you're just show after show after show until you're like, can you see me now? And it's like, stand out above the crowd, even if I gotta shout out loud. So some of you are shouting yourself out. You're not waiting for other people to clap for you. You're clapping for yourself. In Utopia, we all clap for ourselves. And we clap for others. Because you want to know why you don't clap for others. It's going to take a while for other people to clap for you, because, you know, it's give and take. It's give and take. An eye for an eye. I'm really seeing it here too as well. You may not be able to see it, but it's very faded. And then another eye. So some of you could be dealing with the eye of Horus and the eye of Ra. A lot of you could work with Egyptian deities such as Anumini. Segment. And Horus himself, or Ra, of course. There's many. Some of you may like Fall Out Boy, because I'm getting like Uma Thurman, or you're having your Kill Bill moment with the yellow everywhere. Maybe for some of you, Utopia is killing bills. You won't have to have it. Or in your Utopia, you're totally killing it with your bills. Your bills are totally taken care of. You have no worries or fears. It's all alleviated. Your bills are killed. No, there's no such thing as debt. There's no such thing as bills. There's no such thing as needing to pay for food. Some of you really want for Utopia to the bills to be killed. Just done. Our done skins. Yeah, some of you are finished with waiting for your time to shine. And this is like you super speeding up and like leveling up, you know, power charging that move before, like, I feel like y'all know what I mean when I mean like power charging up your weapons or your move, your special attack. Anyone who plays Street Fighter will absolutely know about charging up a move. Okay. Some of you could be dealing with smoke and fires and the red sun all the time, and it feels like you're being weighted down and not as productive. And inside of your utopia, that doesn't exist. There's real air for you to like breathe in and enjoy, and the sun feels nice instead of feeling like on fire and like you're slowly going through the thick of it. And we're moving away from that. We're welcoming Utopia. Welcoming Utopia. Guides, guardians of old and new. Brand the blessed and the fountain of you. I also feel like this also means like walking down the aisle. You know how everyone normally there's like the tuxes and like the black and white and the all uniformness. So I feel like some of you could be walking down the aisle because it's like one goes and the next one, then the next one, then the next one. Or a runway show where you're showcasing it off, and that's your utopia, is having your own fashion business where you have people show up and they get to have fashion senses, and people are suspended and over top of your concert, and it's all pyrotechs and super cool imagery in the backdrop of like your own like logo and everything else like that. You know, like backup dancers, or if you just want to be by yourself and illuminate the truth. Some of you could be dealing with snails or slugs in your garden, which makes it feel like your abundance growth process is slowed down a little bit with the snails up here on top. Yeah, definitely feeling like going from feeling slow to fast. Some of you may enjoy the Cat in the Hat or Mike Myers productions. Like Austin Powers and stuff like that. Y'all know. You know. This is the one. This is the one. Ain't ever forget. Ain't ever forget who's the best. Yes. Okay. So we have number 4, if the river flows this way. Yeah, so eye for an eye again with the Babylonian, especially with the Hamza, as well as the Eye of Ra, and yeah, there's also healing touch. A lot of you could be water signs. You are infinite with 8. 8 can be important, 4s and 30. Some of you could be going into your 30s or on your way to your 30s, and you want to build this utopia by the time you're 30, or you had goals by the time you were 30 to achieve, or by a certain a milestone you want to achieve something. Let's just bring in mind, it could be 40, or like the 50 is the new 40, and it's just like making it look good for your age, like swimming down and looking younger than what you are. Yeah, it's with the different colors too. It definitely some Reiki or prana or pulling your all your chakras into alignment. Some of you could be working with Qigong or just yoga. Some of you could be running your hands through water in order to cleanse yourself. A lot of you could be speaking to your ancestors through the salmon run. So you could consider yourself to be a spiritual bear. Some of you could live near where the salmon run happens, inside of the mountains. That would be like BC, Canada area. Also getting desert as well. So a lot of you could live all over the world. A lot of you could be tuning in from like UK, down in United States, Texas. You could be tuning in from France, especially with like the fashion, the place of fashion. Yeah, the pyramids as well. I just feel like you're tuning in from a lot of places, which makes my heart happy, because then when we're welcoming Utopia together and it's across all of the ley lines and all of Gaia's chakra alignments, if you didn't know that even the earth, Gaia Danu, has these ley lines and spiritual grids, and a lot of you could do spiritual grid work with the lines here for the grids, and are sending out pulse waves, as I said before, to energize and generate. Some of you could be generators. Doesn't have to. You can have many personality types and many of different types in order to feel connected to this. As long as you feel like you want to send out that overwhelming flow of love that you have, and that's where that grief comes from for the earth, is because you have so much love and longing for this utopia. So you know what you want from this utopia, and we're welcoming it. I'm getting the welcoming committee ready, and that's what it is here, is I'm getting the welcoming committee ready for Utopia so that we can gift baskets, and it's waiting for us too. It knows we're on our journey there. It's closer than it appears. It's hard. I know it is. It's like taking off our mask of wanting to be cutthroat and vicious for those who deserve it. Those fish who deserve it, right? Some of you are the fish who had to be a certain way when you were younger, and you developed this beta fish energy when you want to be a salmon. You just want to be gentle, and you just want to go with the flow, and you want to go downstream, and you just want to float through the ocean and just have all of the abundance flow around you. And before, you could have been connected to like toxic scenes, manipulations, and just untrustworthy environments that made you become a beta fish and like be vicious and want vengeance. 44:55 on the clock, 4 and 5. So big stability and big changes on what you prioritize to be fun. What you prioritize is worth your healing energy, where you're gonna flow, and who you're going to have as your migration to Utopia with. And you're leaving behind the burning and the lying and the cheating, and not, just being a part of the crowd but feeling lonely. And you're taking off that mask. You don't want to be that beta fish anymore, and you're gonna be that salmon. You're gonna be that healer. Before, you could have been cutthroat. You ran with the best of them. You could fight with the best of them. No one was gonna make a fool out of you. No one was gonna be putting mad disrespect on your name, and you felt like you had to prove yourself to people who were committed to misunderstanding you in the first place, because they probably thought you were ish. They probably thought you were like rude and like because you're putting a mask on to reflect who they were. So with the mask on, you're a beta fish, and you're like taking, and then some of you could be Leos or Scorpios. But yeah, a lot of you could have had someone else in your group, like a friend, who did see you for who you were, or a partner, and they took off their mask with you, and you left that type of environment, and you really learned how to strive on together, and you're like, we don't need masks where we're going. And that's the utopia you want, is where people don't need their masks. And it's not like you left behind music and dancing and everything. Like what was here, it's like the noise, the fires, and we're leaving that behind. Beyond your fears, the weavers dance. It's like you're calling the heat of the dance and the party without all of the fear and needing to put your guard up, and knowing that even if you make the mistake in trusting the wrong person, it won't take too long before you figure it out. And the dice is loaded in your favor, so even if they try to trip you up, you're still gonna stick the landing. So let's read number 30, because I think we've read this before a few times if people have been here, in regards to trusting yourself and the flow of the universe. So I'll read the essential meanings again, but I'm not good. And the last. Yeah, it's invited to go with the flow and allow the currents in your life to move you forward. As I said earlier, with the greater trusting in the greater universe and letting life flow with the crystal. It says pretty much the same thing here. Inside of it's like desires, weave your dreams and desires with graceful rhythm, and all will be well. Yeah, so call the shots, throw it in the wishing well, because the dice is loaded, and comment that below. Use it as your affirmation. The universe's dice are loaded in my favor. They're loaded. Call the shots. But yeah, focus such as meditating, dancing, painting, or even taking a shower to help create your flow state. So help create your flow state. Some of you feel in the flow when you're healing others, and some of you feel in the flow when you are just being. Find your flow. Yeah. Trusting you will never drown as destiny wants you to go this way is the essential meaning. Number 30, beyond your fears, the weavers dance. Essential meaning, the negative effects of prolonged fearful thoughts, moving out of a fight, flight, freeze modes, and being courageous in spite of your fears. Beyond your fears, the dream weavers dance, weaving the beautiful patterns of your life into a great weaving of all life. Fear, although a worthy self-protective emotion, it is a self-protecting emotion. Thank your body for protecting you this whole time. You know, it was something that you learned to do in times of direness, and now you've used your wisdom and your good judgment to move yourself away from those environments, and you deserve recognition for that. That is welcoming utopia. Every time you pick yourself, every time you pick peace, and every time you pick not to communicate it in gossips or read that comment section, is choosing peace, and that's welcoming utopia. It's in the little things that creates a big difference. Although a worthy self-protective emotion engages your fight, flight, freeze response, there's also the fawn. It doesn't say that in here, but fawn is very important and valid response, and that doesn't make it your fault. And I just think a lot of people need to know that. It's not listed here, but I wanted to state that fawn is very valid, and it kept your body safe, and it kept you from possibly danger. That's what it's there for. That's why it's important to have. And I don't want you to be so hard on yourself about it. For those who I'm talking to, you don't know. This trauma response, which also includes submit or cry for help, is not meant to be sustained for any prolonged period. It wasn't. It wasn't meant to be for long periods of times. So it's understandable that you're taking a little bit longer to take off these armor and put down that shield and sheath your sword. Perhaps you've experienced something in your life that has you constantly on patrol. Your brain is in survival mode, always seeking potential threats, trying to keep you safe, but also cutting you off from your connection with spirit. It's hard to move past your fears if you've been conditioned to expect the worst. Your inquiry now is shining a light at the idea of false evidence appearing real, rather than something actually worthy of fear. Take several deep breaths and release that catastrophic mindset. There is nothing to worry about. Allow for what is to be what is. Now is the time to trust life, to trust yourself, and to trust the universe. Release your fears to the divine and step forward and roll your dice. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm totally serious about that though. Step forward. You might be vulnerable, maybe a bit exposed, but you will regain your confidence and sense of humor quickly. Now dust yourself off. Stop ruminating. take a media break and gaze into the field of potential that surrounds you. It's all about where your attention goes, isn't it? Okay, one more time. Utopia on 555, big changes. Welcome Utopia, and welcome yourself. Like everyone is always like, you're welcome. But like, give credit to yourself. And remember to welcome Utopia into your life. It's doing its little things and biggest things to get your attention. So give it the attention back. Thank you for all coming through, and I appreciate you all. And yeah, let me know what you think of the exercise below, and I will look forward to seeing you. 5555 on the clock. And remember to eat, hydrate, and have fun. Bye!